Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Soin versus KraV. This game taking place here on Springtime 1.1. Let's go ahead and break things down as KraV has spawned as the red Undead here at what I will call the 10 o'clock position, going up against Soin, who has spawned as the green orc on the, 4 o'clock position all the way on the other side of the map. Gonna be a good game here. I am expecting to see some Farseer or Blade Master going up against a Death Knight, but I really like to see a lot of different styles of play and to really be able to view how each different player actually plays a particular race. So far, we're just looking at the early stages of the game. I don't know too much history, and what's interesting right off the bat for me is that Soin looks like he may be going for either a Blade Master or Farseer harass. There still is no barracks, and maybe trying to go for a very fast tech to tier 2. That tech to tier 2 is incredibly important as it allows for earlier access to raiders and your second hero. It often feels like Orc needs that secondary hero a lot, as I was going to mention, KraV actually trading up the Lich first for a second, and then switching over to the Death Knight gave me a little bit of a scare, wondering if KraV was going to try and do a little bit of a unorthodox play against Soin here. We are looking at a Farseer first, still no barracks, and it is in fact a tech to tier 2 even before the Farseer has hit the ground. We are going to be looking at eventual headhunters as we see a war mill being placed down and most likely a barracks to follow that. That's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, as the Farseer should be making a move out here in just a moment. We should be looking at a second and perhaps even a third hero trying to go into tier 3 as the barracks is also being placed down as well. Interesting position on the barracks here. There is a little bit of entrance from the backside around the corner, this little backdoor entrance, but most likely your opponent will not be coming from that way, as it does end up taking a little bit longer as opposed to trying to build your barracks here and then something off over there. Orc burrows also strategically placed around the map, as I guess Iris, my youngest daughter, may want to come down and join me for a second. Hi, Iris. Do you want to join me? You want to see what Daddy's doing? All right. I thought I could distract her with some Netflix as I tried to do a cast today, but nope. It is Daddy-Daughter Day here. So Death Knight now on the map here, clearing out a 6-5-4 creep camp. It will give him level 2, and I'm surprised that the Death Knight doesn't have a bit more experience already. He does not. It looks like he didn't really clear out any creep camps and just grabbed and used a Rod of Necromancy very aggressively to clear out and make a way towards this rather difficult creep camp here. Back off to the north, we're looking at the Farseer clearing out the center portion, and KraV's overall pathing is a bit interesting as he picks up a Ring of Protection +4. That's not the item that he was looking for, but it will give that Death Knight better effective hit points and make his Unholy Aura that much better for him, as each hit point actually is worth a little bit more if you have a bit more armor. Coming back through, Force Troll High Priest going to get taken down. Death Knight looking to clear things up, trying to finish off this Sasquatch here. Meanwhile, the Farseer of Soin is looking to figure out where exactly the Undead player is. KraV choosing an unusual or an unorthodox creep pattern, making it a bit difficult for him to be creepjacked. Tech to tier 2 is already done. We are getting up headhunters and training up a Tauren Chieftain as the Farseer finally comes across the Death Knight, who has picked up a Pendant of Energy. So early Pendant of Energy there. Now perhaps going to try and finish some things off here. Perhaps get in some pressure. There goes an ensnare down as well. The Death Knight trying to exchange blows with the Farseer. Farseer now looking to retreat back as we are looking at headhunters joining in on the battle. All right. Farseer gonna perhaps push that Death Knight away. He's down to 100 hit points. As I mentioned, that additional armor making quite a bit of a difference as the Death Knight retreats back with his very fast movement speed. All right, decent movement speed back on Blight. He will be regenerating hit points fairly well as we're looking at the Ice Troll Berserker and these, ghouls trying to finish off the remainder of this creep camp. Death Knight going to be just shy of level 3, which is a very big deal. Having a level 2 Death Coil out of the gate at the start of any engagement is just that much better. All right. Coming back around here, going to go ahead and continue to do a little bit more creeping. KraV's Ice Troll Berserker absorbing a little bit too much damage, needs to back away. The Mammoth is, the Spearman fighting its way through, and now the Death Knight at level 3 with level 2 Death Coil should be able to... Wait, was that a deny? No, that was... was that an actual skeletal minion? Okay, that was a skeletal minion. I thought it was for a second. Hey, don't tap the microphone. Don't tap that. I'm talking to that. Okay? Say yes, Daddy. Okay, coming back around, a Death Knight making a move down here, already with a decent amount of mana, 475, and he should perhaps be trying to train up that Lich, who will be joining him here in just a moment. So some early interesting creep patterns, but now we're going into this classic style, Farseer Tauren Chieftain with Headhunter. So even though the story looks the same, how you get there is just as important, even though it is just going to be Death Knight, a Dark Ranger. Oh, Death Knight, Dark Ranger first. So not a Lich first. Going for Dark Ranger first. Scroll of Speed now being used, trying to finish things off. Black Arrow going to find its target, and now perhaps try and swarm up a little bit more. Death Coil finding another bit of damage there, but not going to be enough to finish off that Headhunter, who is now looking to retreat back. Death Knight wants to be able to launch a second Death Coil, but that healing salve on that Headhunter is enough as a stomp now comes across. Farseer now going to be joining in on the battle here as the Death Knight needs to back away. Level 3, level 1 going up against 2 level 2s as they are still exchanging blows back and forth. Dark Ranger now looking to retreat back. Black Arrow not really that effective here, as it's only going to be dealing bonus damage to the Farseer, as we see a Cloak of Shadows, tactically used to heal up the Farseer as the Tauren Chieftain places down a healing salve. Tauren Chieftain, Farseer summons Spirit Wolves and then quickly hides again. There is a stomp right there, perhaps trying to stop that Dark Ranger. Death Knight has plenty of mana, can easily Death Coil the Dark Ranger if needed, as the Skeletal Minion just trying to run free right here. Farseer now, shakes off his Cloak of Shadows. Death Knight trying to get some damage onto the Farseer. Chain Lightning is going to be enough for Death Knight down to 35 hit points, down to 17 hit points, and he's able to back away. An Ice Troll Berserker trying to get in a little bit of extra damage to finish off the Farseer, but unable to do that. KraV escaping away in the teens on that hit point as he tries to retreat back once more. Level 3, level 1, the Dark Ranger really not getting that many kills, not that much damage and destruction, as KraV is falling a bit behind now. Tauren Chieftain healing or Clarity Potion alongside those healing salves making their way out across the map here. Obsidian Statue joining in on the battlefield. KraV being a little bit adventurous, going after some creep camps, and Soin, if he actually could spend the time to figure out where KraV is, could really punish him right now. Obsidian Statue going to heal up the Death Knight here, finish off the Forest Troll Berserker, finish off the Furbolg Tracker, as we see the Farseer coming in from behind to add in a bit of damage. Death Knight, Death Coil picks up Rune Bracers. Spell damage is going to be greatly reduced as he... Well, apparently this is not exciting enough for Iris as she decides to walk away. All right, give me a second. I'm going to set her up. All right, family aggro. Got her all settled, taken care of. Gonna go ahead and move back down here. Death Knight now making its way around. Farseer gonna go ahead and back away, and KraV really needs this opportunity to get more experience on that Dark Ranger and perhaps pick up that Lich as well. Shadowhunter also coming in from the other side. So both sides going for triple heroes, triple undead heroes versus triple orc heroes, even though the Dark Ranger is considered a tavern hero as well. All right, going after those the apprentices here. Those are all swarmed in the far back. Dark Ranger should be able to get in some black arrows as well, try to build up that skeletal army. Meanwhile, Farseer looking to back away, trying to give more experience to the Shadowhunter, who wants access to Healing Wave and also wants that Hex. Berserkers now out on the battlefield as well. Units are now moving out across as we're looking at the Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger. A good 1-2-3 combination. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3 with level 2 Stomp. Farseer is going to be a little bit behind, and KraV quickly pulls the brakes here. Wants to back out of this fight. Not going to be able to save that Crypt Fiend, as well the remaining creeps perhaps adding in a little bit more damage there. Shadow Hunter could get to level 2 off of this creep camp, and things are just going well for Soin if the Shadow Hunter stays nearby and picks up all of that experience there. Tome of Agility also going to get picked up as the Lich, with alongside some Obsidian statues. There's some ghouls, and where exactly is KraV's army? KraV's army is really, really small, but he has now gone into Temple of the Damned and maybe going for a Necromancer meat wagon strategy. All right, this would be a bit out of left field, but looking at the army composition of Soin has no idea that we are going to be watching a tech switch here. Now, the best time to use a Necromancer meat wagon is when your opponent is not expecting it and doesn't have the counter. If there isn't Dispel magic with Spirit Walkers, and there's no way to dispel all of those skeletal minions, well, you can get overwhelmed very, very quickly. KraV, however, doesn't have that much gold sitting in the bank, and he doesn't even have that much lumber. He needs to harvest quite a bit more in order to make this strategy effective and work. Soin, on the other side, is going above no upkeep, and now in low upkeep with the 55/61 supply army. Potion of Invulnerability on that Tauren Chieftain will allow him to dive into the fight early on. Perhaps those stomps will be enough to help clear out the early waves of those skeletal minions. Lich sitting at level 2, plus 14 damage with the Claws of Attack plus 9. That Lich's auto attack will be dealing some nasty damage, as well as the Dark Ranger may get to level 3 as well. Alright, in comes the Scout. Things have now been revealed. We are now looking at Necromancers getting popped out here, and KraV, well, has a very, very small window of opportunity before we are looking at perhaps a Spirit Lodge or something else to try and deal with this Necromancer strategy that's going to be slowly marching out across the map. 48/60 supply. Are we going to get another temple? No, we are not. Sitting on 500, almost 600 gold here, and isn't training up that last third Necromancer to try and pop out units. All right, here we go. There's the Necromancers. There's the meat wagons. We are going to see a push in about 45 seconds. But is that enough time? That is not enough time to get the Tauren Totem up, a Spirit Walker out with Adept training. That is going to be key, the timing on this next push. All right, looking at the Necromancers here. 2 Necromancers, more Necromancers getting queued up in the back as well. We're going to have up to 5 Necromancers and a meat wagon join in onto this battlefield. Here's an unsummon, and KraV is doing essentially an all-in strategy here, even though there is still plenty of time left. The Tauren Totem is still not done. This is absolutely key here when that first Spirit Walker with Adept training is completed, and when the army is going to be pushing on out, and the army is pushing on out right now. Necromancers will be reinforcing from behind as well, and here we go. Meat wagons need to move on through, and we are seeing that 64/70 supply. Not quite sure what KraV is waiting for here, perhaps waiting on another Necromancer or 2 before that push out, but we are already getting up that... No, we are not getting up the first Spirit Walker. I don't even see a Spirit Walker out here on the battlefield yet. Instead, Soin actually opting to set up a tiny Great Hall. All right, perhaps the tiny Great Hall and the establishment of an expansion will buy enough time for the Spirit Walker or the Tauren Totem to do its thing and train up those Spirit Walkers with that disenchant. This is going to be key here. 4-3-2 going up against 3-4-3. A slight hero level advantage for Soin. And we are getting to what is going to be the deciding fight in this game, most likely, as well. Necromancers seem to be a pretty much an early all-in strategy. Meat wagons are here as well, and the army is going to come in and flank from behind. This is going to be absolutely key. Unholy Aura actually having them mine a little bit faster. And here we go. Necromancers, are they going to try to pop out some of those units? The Tauren Totem is training up Spirit Walkers but is it going to be enough? We also have Frenzy on the Lich as well, and units are going to be coming in from behind here. Where are all of these units perhaps going to try and go? Skeletal minions. There's more pop-up army as we are now lobbing attacks going back and forth. Tauren Chieftain gets in a big stomp. Too many health bars to actually see what's going on in the battle here as the armies have gone wide. Both sides still fighting their way through. A lot of damage as more and more skeletal minions and mages are getting popped out and out. All right, what are these mages doing here? They should actually be engaging against the actual army, as I don't believe Soin was ready for this at all. All right, massive skeletal army continuing the chase back after all of those units. However, that's just going to buy time for more Frost Nova on that Lich, as he needs to get more mana in from those Obsidian statues. The Obsidian statues, however, are pretty much drained, and the Dark Ritual needs to be used pretty consistently, but I believe it's Frost Armor instead. Without Dark Ritual, KraV has no way to really put pressure onto these Berserkers and keep them at bay. All right, the fortress is now taking quite a bit of damage. However, the Orc Burrows were able to get within shot range of those meat wagons and destroy them. Meanwhile, we're still fighting around here. Wind Riders looking to back up. 56 supply compared to 47. 43 supply army compared to 42. But that does not count all of these skeletal minions and mages that are just all around the board here. Burrows are going to start getting taken down. Fortress about to fall here. Meanwhile, we're looking at ghouls trying to clean up all of the peons that were at the natural expansion. Both sides, they're fighting their way through. There's a giant stomp. There's a chain lightning. Farseer looking to try and take down units as the raiders are falling down as well. The Lich sitting at level 3. Auto attack is incredibly important as a Hex goes down onto the Death Knight. Death Knight unable to death foil the Lich, and the Lich gets taken down. No potion of lesser invulnerability there. Lich falls at level 3, and even with the Khadgar's Pipe of Insight, it was unable to launch enough Frost Novas. Dark Ranger now pushing back the other way as we're looking at the skeletal minions and mages doing a great job finishing off this main base here and looking for more. This could turn into a little bit of a base race scenario as the Dark Ranger gets up to level 4. All right, all the ghouls here are just finishing things off here and trying to take these units down one at a time. Are we going to see some more ghouls getting taken down? Yes, as we are looking at the ghoul now looking to back away. All right, massive magic damage now trying to finish off the remainder of this base here. The meat wagons, as you remember, were all destroyed. Some of the Orc Burrows actually within range to try within range of the meat wagons and able to easily destroy them, as the meat wagons siege range should have been enough. Lich out here onto the battlefield here trying to finish things off, stopping the expansion from getting up and operational. And now just fight where your opponent needs it the most. He needs the economy to stay in this game, as KraV now fighting next to here, getting some additional skeletal minions off of the corpses of the peons. All right, we're looking at a level 4 Farseer, now level 2 Chain Lightning most likely on the table. That could bounce around and cause quite a bit of problems. No cripples under the Tauren Chieftain, as another barracks could get taken down. Lich is sitting at level 3, very fast auto attack, allowing for that negative armor debuff, as we're looking at the skeletal mages actually having more hit points than the warriors. I've mentioned it a lot, as they're able to be in that front line spot, absorbing the damage from these berserkers. There goes a little bit more Chain Lightning bouncing around, but using a very expensive Chain Lightning on skeletal minions and mages just seems like a bit of a waste, as the units are going back and forth. The Great Hall is about to fall, and the sudden tech swap of KraV going into Necromancers and the questionable decision of Soin to not get the Spirit Walker once he saw that this strategy was underway was a bit of a problem here. Meatwagon perhaps going to finish off this Great Hall, and once this Great Hall is gone, all hope is lost, as KraV can just sit back and relax and just rely on his economic advantage and force the fight to be brought to him. Tauren Chieftain still wandering around here. Kodo Beast want to eat some targets, and we're looking at a Tauren Chieftain. There's a giant stomp. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around, finding a bunch of targets here. 46 supply compared to 23. More, skeletal minions and mages popping up out of the ground. The Dark Ranger with that faster attack speed. Kodo Beast trying to chase or run away. Scroll of Speed not going to be enough. Necromancer pops back out. Are we going to perhaps see a cripple? No, we are not there, and that is going to be the game. KraV with the beautiful tech switch, completely catching Soin off guard, even though he should have spotted both Temple of the Dams. He did train up that Tauren Totem, but rather than try and train up a Spirit Walker with Adept training, expanded instead. Once the attack began on the main base, well, even with KraV's mistake of losing a meat wagon to Orc Burrows, he was able to come out ahead. KraV with the victory there with that sudden tech swap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.